Hi, my name is Esteban, and this is my final presentation for the Service Learning Project. So, starting off, I volunteered at the Belmont Elementary Recreational Center, where its mission was essentially to improve the Lincoln community, primarily through focusing on the youth and helping them learn, develop, and essentially just be prepared for the life of adolescence. So, the first point I want to touch on are the 3 interpersonal skills that I focus on throughout the course of the class. Those 3 were time management, empathy, and influence. So with time management, I really focus on starting to make out lists for myself because before this year, I just kind of went all throughout my day how I thought it was supposed to go out. I never really wrote out or had any kind of visualization for it. But this year, I kind of started to have a lot of more responsibilities to take care of. So I started out making a list for myself. That way I had that visual illustration to keep me on track of my day, and that helped me accomplish a lot more things. Next off, I had empathy. So at my service site, I work with a lot of kids, and a lot of times you never really know what kind of conflict they deal with or what's been going on throughout the day. So I really worked on empathy so I could put myself in their shoes and really feel what they feel so that I could relate to them and come to a solution better for whatever conflict was going on. And then lastly, influence. So, like I said, I work with kids, and a lot of times they have different ideas and different kind of just different ways they see things. So it's very important for me to to have come up with different kinds of influence tactics so that I could really grasp their attention and keep them obedient whenever they needed to follow directions or follow orders. So moving on to my contribution at my project. So beginning with a student I worked with named Keith. Keith was very smart, and he was very advanced in math for his age, but he was never really able to fully express himself, in the math perspective the way he would like. But whenever I was there, I listened to him. I listened to the kind of things he knew, and I always focused on teaching him new things because he was very interested. And because of that, I was able to develop a pretty strong relationship with Keith, and we grew close to each other, and I feel like I contributed in that aspect. And then moving on to another student, so one day we were in the gym just doing activities, having a good time with younger students, and a 10-year-old or so kid, he came in, and he was different from the other students because he had a couple of tattoos on his face, and this really intimidated a lot of the other kids. So what I tried to do at that point was try to integrate him into the activities and allow the other kids to kind of see past his physical appearance and really see how nice he actually was, because he was a nice kid. And once the other kids started looking past his physical appearance, they started actually talking to him, and he started making them friends. And I feel that was a really good thing to do, and I contributed in that way as well. So moving on to the evaluation of STEAM goals. So first of all, my evaluation of leadership. I feel I develop very well as a leader from the beginning of the course towards the end of the project. I feel like at the beginning, I wasn't a very well leader or a very good leader when it came to dealing with a lot of kids. But by the end, I felt like I was very comfortable being in a position of making decisions for the group and just kind of leading a lot of different people at once. Moving on to enhanced self-esteem. In the respect aspect of enhanced self-esteem, I feel like I did a pretty solid job just because I was able to obtain the respect of a lot of the kids and vice versa, give out respect for a lot of the kids I worked with. But on the other side, the initiative aspect of the self-esteem, I feel like I could have improved on just because sometimes I could have maybe taken a little bit more initiative to reach out and learn people's names or interact with kids I didn't always interact with. And lastly, for effective communication, I feel like I developed as well and fulfilled my goal with effective communication because around class and at my project, I feel like I communicate much better with just really any people I deal with day in and day out. And then lastly, my overall evaluation of the project. So who was affected? Well, to begin with, I was affected very much just because a lot of the kids I worked with and interacted with, they really affected me because I grew to develop strong relationships with them. And on the same kind of note, I think that a lot of the kids I dealt with were affected as well because I made some sort of positive impact in their life. And then what would I change? Probably nothing. I was very happy with the way my project turned out to be. And if I could do it over, I would definitely pick the same site and have it go the way it did. And lastly, I would definitely recommend this site to anybody because I feel like you can learn a lot from it. I sure did. And you definitely have a good time and enjoy serving day in and day out. And lastly, I just want to thank all of you for giving me your time and listening throughout the video. So thank you.